People hate on you because you're a Christian is kind of like, or when they're mocking your religion, it's just like, why are you mocking something? And then you ask them, like, do you believe in it? They say no. So how are you gonna mock something that you don't believe in? To me, that's messed up. Me personally, I'll crack a lot of jokes, but the two things that I don't do is mock people's beliefs and mocking people's family. Those are the two things you don't do, in my opinion. Shot for the team. Guys, it's just water. Calm down. Hold your horses. No. Do not get mad. Don't be like, I thought you were a Christian. Why are you taking shots online? Why are you taking shots on your podcast? That's not Christian-like. As a Christian, you hear that all the time. You claim when you're a Christian and your beliefs of God and you spread the word of Jesus, people are even going to judge you even more on the littlest things that you do. I especially get a lot of hate when I play rap music. I literally grew up listening to rap music. I'ma say it. I listened to Eminem when I was 9 years old. Then in 5th grade, it started Drake, Lil Wayne. Middle school, it started DJ Khaled, Busta Rhymes, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, all sorts of rappers. High school was the mumble rap or trap rap era. I listened to just straight rap in high school. So like no other genre. I thought pop was, I'm gonna say it, I thought pop was girly. I thought rock was weird. And I thought country was rednecky. And I'm gonna say I was stereotyping all these genres. So I only listened to rap. So, but then at the age of 21, I discovered Christian rap. I started playing it or whatever, getting into it, and I messed with it. And sometimes at work, I'll have my speaker going or whatever, and a Christian rap song comes on. People notice the lyrics. They hear Jesus and they're just like, sometimes it catches people's ears, like, huh. And then some people even know that I didn't even know that they listened to it, and they're like, yo, man, it's that Christian rap, right? This hobby or Hobie. And I was like, yeah, bro, I didn't know you listened to it too. And they're like, yeah. And it's crazy. I was like, oh, you go to church, you worship God? And they're like, nah, but I mess with Christian rap. But it's like, at the same point, though, at least in a way, I mean, I think you should believe in God 100%. You should know the story behind Jesus. But at least in a way, though, they're acknowledging Him. And at least in a way, Jesus is speaking to them. In my opinion, we are all born with the Holy Spirit. And the crazy part too about being a Christian is that you get closer to Christianity and you see people sin even more. And especially when you get closer, when you start having more of a relationship with Jesus, sin eats you alive. I'll talk more about sin in like a later podcast, but trust me, when you get closer to Christianity, sin eats you alive. Sometimes things that come out of your mouth eats you alive. You just start noticing things on a different point of view. You don't notice things on a worldly view, you notice things on a Christ-like view. And in a way, that's also better in life. You start becoming more positive. You start becoming more caring, forgiving. So when people hate on you because you're a Christian, it's kind of like, or when they're mocking your religion, it's just like, why are you mocking something? And then you ask them, like, do you believe in it? They say no. So how are you going to mock something that you don't believe in? To me, that's messed up. Me personally, I'll crack a lot of jokes, but the two things that I don't do is mock people's beliefs and mocking people's family. Those are the two things you don't do, in my opinion. Well, like I said, you're gonna go get hate, and it's even sadder too when you get closer to Christ. That sometimes the people you're around get closer to the devil, or you start noticing it. People wearing demon shirts, people listening to very, very demonic music. And I'll admit it, I did listen to some demonic music, but I never listened to like heavy metal like that. I didn't even listen to rock music actually in general. But like I'll admit it, as I said in my demonic music, I listened to a lot of those rappers, and I took it as I don't know what they're saying. You look at their album covers, people make videos about it. You're just like, yeah, I'm done. Even in like TV shows don't hit the same as they used to. Like on this pod, I talk a lot about How I Met Your Mother. How I Met Your Mother is it's very a worldly show. They sleep around. They talk about the universe. Me personally, I never believe in the universe. I always believe in God. When miracles happen, it was God. It wasn't this so-called universe. When there was a sign, it was God. It wasn't the universe. Because God created the universe. How I Met Your Father. I watched that reboot, and I'll admit it. The reason why I mostly watched the reboot is because I thought one of the girls were cute. Yes, that's how bad I was. And I knew what they were doing. In a way, they were mocking Christianity, calling God a woman. It was very worldly, and kind of the same thing where they're in a relationship and they haven't had sex yet. That's weird. In this show, that's how they put it out to be. Like, oh, you're weird if you haven't had sex yet. That's how you guys know you're not close. It's not like necessarily you guys having a good connection and getting married. No. It's that you guys didn't sleep together yet. That's weird. Okay. Yeah, sure. That's how you want your mind to work. But like I said, I mean, I still did watch the show even though it was mocking Christianity, and looking back on it, it's kind of like that was wrong with me. And I said in one of the podcasts, same thing with that 70s show. I stopped. I literally full on stopped watching that show after they mocked getting into heaven. It was messed up. And I was just like, dude, why would you even air this? Why would you even make this? Whose idea was it? So I was done with it. Same thing with 2.5 Men. It's that their mockery of God is just like crazy to me, and the fact I still watch that or try to finish the show, and they're just kind of mocking God, and I'm just like, okay. Maybe it's not gonna be this bad in this episode, and they still did it, and I was just like, I'm done. And that's how you know you're going to get stronger to your faith, is when you can say, I'm done. Same thing with friends or family even. Then I know some people that say they're close to God, and they're like, I heard God's voice the other night. God told me to do this. God called me to do this. And some people are just like, you don't even go to church. How did God call you? How are you close to God? That's messed up. Just because you don't go to church, that doesn't mean God can't call you for your purpose in life. That doesn't mean God doesn't give you signs and He doesn't exist. That's not it. I will admit it, going to church will help build your relation with Jesus. But no, it's not. It's not like that. God, no matter what, will be in your life. And so is the devil. The devil's going to whisper in your ear and temptations. Again, later podcast, I'm going to talk about that. For now, I'm going to talk about just being a Christian in general. Also, what kind of annoys me too of being a Christian is when other people claim that they're a Christian and they talk about their sins like it's their trophy. I know a lot of people that talk about how many women they slept with, and I was like, okay, like, oh, all right, like, I don't know what to say to that. Like, I say I'm a Christian. I don't respect that. You're treating women like objects. They're just like, I'm a Christian too. How you gonna claim yourself a Christian when you're literally monetizing your sin? When you become closer to Jesus, a follower of Him, being a Christian, that will eat you alive. You will regret all those things that you did in your past, that you said in your past. And again, this is also very true. When you get closer to Christ, you feel like you don't want to stop listening to that music. You feel like you don't want to stop watching those movies and watching those TV shows. Because you look at it like this. Okay, they mention God. They mention Jesus. They're acknowledging Him. Okay, they might talk about sin, but is it really that bad? I'm coming from experience. I'm still learning on that too. There was a lot of artists where I deleted, and I was just like, oh, but they got such this fire song. Okay, it's a fire song, but what's the true meaning behind it? And same thing with TV shows, and or movies. I guess just in general, and following Jesus is it's going to be challenging, 100%. There's going to be many obstacles in your way. Like I said, many obstacles in your way, like temptations and sins, and the devil's even going to try to get to you more. But like I said, later video. Right now, I'm going to talk about like God's timing and your timing. But before that, too, I do get experience of people judging me because I was a Christian. So I got a tattoo on my leg. It's a cross on it, and it says "Trust in the Lord." And when I got it, some guy goes, "Oh, that's not Christian-like. You just ruined your skin." The way how I look at it is, this tattoo is representing Jesus. I'm spreading the word of the gospel. So anything you can try to spread the word of the gospel, do it. If you want to try to bring people closer to Christ, you got to spread the word of the gospel. That's the way I look at it. And I know there is somewhere in the Bible that says you can't get tattoos or whatever. Somebody had a good point. Apparently that is actually in the Old Testament. That's not in the new one. But we're going to talk about God's timing compared to your timing. Because as a Christian, that is going to be one of the most challenging things you are going to learn. Me, I said this before. I always been a go big or go home person. I always had to get to the finish line. I always had to finish. I couldn't just go on a steady pace. I had to go. So that was one of the most challenging things in following Christ. Because a lot of times when I was a kid, I always, not even as a kid, also as a teenager, chase after a girl. I'm like, she's the one. God, is she the one? Come on, is she? Like, getting so hyped for it. And just like, I wasn't really even like that focused on God. I prayed to God. I knew of Him. I was a Christian. But at the same time, well, was I truly even worshiping God, or was I just basically using Him just for signs and answers? And truthfully, I think that's what I was doing. And truthfully, those girls that I did chase after, now kind of looking back on it, I didn't even know what I wanted. I went for looks over beliefs. I didn't truly know what I wanted in a woman, and now I do. I want a godly woman. I want a girl that I can go places with, go to church with, have a close relationship, and we can talk about Jesus together. We can listen to gospel music together. We can do all this and that. Before it was just, oh, I want a relationship. She's cute. I'll admit it. Even I said this on my first ever podcast that I used to look up to Jake Paul. Okay? Like I said, always believe in God. Never stopped. Never ran away. Never stopped believing in Him. But at the same time, in a way, I was worshiping Jake Paul. I thought this guy was so cool with his vlogs and this and that. Like, he was kind of like my role model. And in the Bible, it basically says, don't worship celebrities, because it's a very true statement. These celebrities that we look up to is not good role models. Should I mention the Diddy parties? No, I'm just playing. But hey, RIP to all those victims, by the way. Or not. Well, we don't know if they're gone or not, but praise go out to those victims. Prayers go out to those victims. But like I said, also growing into faith, it was cool that how much I learned getting into a relationship with Jesus. I learned more about my sins and how it kind of ruined my life. I figured out a lot of trust issues I have to work on. I have to. This just kind of occurred to me. I have to forgive the others that hurt me. Because truthfully, it still does eat me inside. And I have to work on that. But like I said, forgiving people, you start when you become a Christian and closer to Christ, having a better relationship with Him. You start becoming a better person. You really do. You start being nicer. You start thinking, what would Jesus do? You stop being so hot-headed and so mad because you just think, you're like, what would Jesus do? You don't, yeah, because everybody wants that revenge. Everybody wants to prove people wrong. But is it? It is. It's all about God's timing. Because God's timing is better than your timing. That is 100%. Well, like I said, I mean, I hope you guys find faith and hope and love. And by doing that is start having a relation with Jesus. I'll admit it. I don't really read the Bible. I have this thing called Bible Chat. It's pretty cool. It's where I read a Bible verse and I read things explaining the Bible verse, and then it also says what can I do better as a Christian. Reflecting. Honestly, when you join churches, start doing activities in the churches, start forming friendships with those people in church too, because then you have people that can relate to what you're struggling in life. Because truthfully, in this world, there is sadly a lot of sinners. There is a lot of people that run away, and when you tend to hang around sinners, you're not Christ-like. I know it is hard, but I'm gonna talk about that probably in the next video. But I'll see y'all later. Thank y'all for listening. Please subscribe, leave a like, and let's grow this faith together. So we out.